A while ago, I made a video about when I expected news for Pokémon Winds and Pokémon Waves, and I tried to be positive and believing that we could get something this year, maybe even an early 2027 release. But GameFreak has all but confirmed that there won't be a thing in 2026. So hey, I'm Not So Ace Trainer, welcome back to the channel, and why am I saying this and what does it mean for the future? Let's get into it. I want to start this video by saying that, of course, this is all speculation. There's still a tiny glimmer of hope that we get something during the closing ceremony of Pokémon Worlds at the end of August. But there are many things that make me feel like that isn't very likely at all. The closing ceremony usually shows us new content for all Pokémon games, focusing on the competitive side of Pokémon and on their popular spin-offs. For example, last year they announced that Mega Evolution was coming to Pokémon TCG Pocket and the Pokémon TCG. They showed us new Pokémon for Pokémon Unite, Eternatus in Pokémon Go, and then a Pokémon Champions trailer, as well as something for ZA as the game was going to be released very soon. The year before that, as you remember, there was nothing for ZA, and this year it's gonna be the same for Pokémon Winds and Pokémon Waves, and that's because there's also not gonna be a trailer in June. A Pokémon Presents is just not needed because the Pokémon Company has already made their big announcements. The release date reveal of the Pokémon Champions mobile version was done through social media, and the Pokopia DLC announcement was done through a Nintendo Direct, meaning there is absolutely no intention of having a Pokémon Presents anytime soon. The existence of Pokémon Champions and the fact that they took over VGC also means that there is no need to talk about the main series to talk about competitive Pokémon. They don't have to have a trailer for Pokémon Winds and Pokémon Waves in order to show players what the competitive landscape will look like. All it takes is a Pokémon Champions trailer about future updates. There is also another thing, and that's the possibility of simply revealing Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald for the Switch, which they will 100% do eventually, as you cannot complete Fire Red and Leaf Green without those games and vice versa. So there will just be nothing for Winds and Waves in 2026, and while I do hope very much that I'm wrong, I don't think I am. February 2027 during the Pokemon Day Presents is most likely when we'll get something new. Now that's the video for those who are here for the topic, those who are here about the future of Pokemon. But I also need to talk about the future of the channel because of this. As you know, I've been doing Winds and Waves content since the game was announced and I'm having fun, but there's nothing really for me to talk about anymore. I think I've touched every topic I could, and I am a leak-free channel, so I won't go as low as to start talking about 4chan rumors or things like that. I would never disrespect you like that. What I'm going to do is just slow down on the Winds and Waves long-form content because I truly believe I've talked about everything and talk about different topics regarding Pokemon. And whenever there's like something cool that I remember or think about or you guys talk about regarding Gen 10, I will make a video on it. Anytime there's a new theory, I will do it. I am not retiring the tinfoil hat, don't worry, I will not retire it ever. But I just don't want to start forcing out content and burn out from that. Shorts will still be daily for the most part, as I have a lot of content that I've made before that I can just turn into shorts and show it to new people, which is something nice, showing the channel to new people, talk about Pokemon with new people. As for the long form content, I will aim for one video per week every Friday starting next week's Friday. I expect them to be a little bit longer than my usual videos, but I can't really promise that as I tend to say everything in fewer words than other people. What I can promise is that I will still be here, I will reply to every comment, I will stream, and I will be talking about Pokemon with you everywhere that I can. And hopefully you also stay around for this hopefully temporary phase, as I'm gonna be honest, you are the best part of it all. And now that's the current future of the channel, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. But before I go, I want to thank my YouTube members, Good Old Deo, The Gavinator, Dash Plays, and Attila Santo, and my Twitch subscribers and newbies here, the Dr. Joe, Teixeira23, Lazarix, and Odd Cypher for going that extra mile. Thank you so much for all of your support.